Qhakaza Mntase sithi Mntase Qhakaza. Qhakaza Mntase sithi Mntase Qhakaza. Qhakaza Mntase sithi Mntase Qhakaza. 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 Qhakaza Mntase sithi Mntase Qhakaza. Qhakaza Mntase sithi Mntase Qhakaza. Qhakaza Mntase sithi Mntase Qhakaza. Qhakaza. Qhakaza.
Welcome back to another episode of Qhakaza Mntase. I am your girl Nicole Coco Fisher, and you guys know it's time to Qhakaza. And when we Qhakaza, we do not Qhakaza alone. We bring our people to come and Qhakaza with us. Well, I'm bringing definitely my plus one.
You already know.
Yes.
Man, we look so good.
Yeah, you look.
Ooh.
You look expensive, Chomo.
You already know.
Expensive.
Anyway, but I say, come on, the streets call me Nappy Hippie. You already know. Rapping the 043, aka the 5219. Gang, gang. We in the building. What?
All right. We're in the building, like you said. Anyway, before we go any further with this episode, we just like to thank our sponsors, Captain Joe's Tough, as well as X Royal Studios. Like you already know, all the setup, it's probably brought to you by X Royal Studios. And if Kesana, you want to have your party, your graduation, your mgidisi, and you want to film it, you want to put that, put it there out there, please do contact the number on the screen for photography, videography, sound hire, and the drone services. We got all that here at X Royal Studios. So dial the number on the screen and we'll treat you like our royalty.
Condos in Joe, you already know. And if you want to advertise your business, please hit us up. Go email here to that is qhakaza@tough.org.za. Qhakaza@tough, which is TAAF.org.za.
Right. Now for the fun part. For the actual part of the...
This part right here. There we go.
Right. We've got Sinakho here in the building. And Getina, we do not want to tell you who she is because no one can describe her best than herself. Hi, Sissy.
Hi, guys.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you guys?
We're excited.
Love it. Shaded and everything.
We are excited. We are very excited to have you here today.
Thanks for having me.
Sissy, can you please tell our viewers, who is Sinakho, Ngowapi, and the reason for you being here today?
Wow. Such a complex question. Well, my name, like you said, is Sinakho Mandla. I am 30 years old, born December 20th. Yay.
Hey.
So who am I? Let me start about my upbringing. I was born and bred in East London, moved to Johannesburg for varsity, went to a film school, majored in television production, writing to be more specific. Worked in the film industry since 2015. Within my career, I've kind of worked in different mediums. I worked in TV, and then my career sort of took a digital media route where I did a bit of social media managing, a bit of online writing for magazines, and managed a couple websites. And now I am a producer on a radio show. So, yeah.
That's a mouthful.
Right?
It's a mouthful. We need to digest.
Let's run it back. Back to your upbringing. Tell us more about your upbringing.
Okay, well, yeah. I am the middle child. Yes. Apparently, we're the ones that everyone hates.
The problem child.
Allegedly, I am the Kim Kardashian of the family.
Oh, yeah?
Alleged. I have a older sister and a younger sister. Like I said, I'm the middle child. I've always been a kid who was interested in arts. I didn't really know what I wanted to do within the arts industry, but I knew that I wanted to do something there. I had a phase where I tried out rapping.
Yes,
That didn't
yeah.
end up too well. I tried a bit of dancing. That also didn't, go too well.
As in, uqinile okanye wabesigwayeka.
No, man. I think I don't know. It just wasn't my thing.
Yeah, it wasn't what you wanted within
Even
the
being
space.
on in front of the camera, it's not really my thing. That's why I think I found my comfort behind the scenes. I'm always the girl who's just running around coordinating stuff. That's my scene.
So this is not awkward for you at all, being in front of the camera.
It's weird. It's very weird, but I'm slowly trying to embrace it. I'm trying to go with the flow. But yeah,
You got this, though.
Inside, I'm panicking just a little bit, but
You're good at hiding it then because you look so composed.
yeah, I did dramatic arts as a subject at school to try to kind of find what I wanted to do. And then when I matriculated, I thought, okay, fine, you know what, let me just go to an art school and see what happens. Yeah, then I went there. I kind of dabbled in everything. I did a bit of acting. I saw that was not my thing. I did.
Bro, what's your thing?
I did makeup, and yes, I like that for like film and stuff. But that really wasn't, where my heart was.
Also wasn't your thing.
I wouldn't say it wasn't my thing, but it just wasn't what I wanted to do, right? And then when I did TV, and then that's when I was like, oh, okay, you know what? I'm actually enjoying this, and I'm quite good at it, especially when I did writing, because when I wrote in third year, I think, I wrote a telenovela, and my concept actually won and was shot for the end of the year film festival, and that's actually how I got my first internship.
Tell us more about the concept.
Well, the concept, it was basically like about a underprivileged older sibling who grew up with no parents and was taking care of her younger sibling, right? And then, well, I won't say that she was, alone, but she had a father, but the father was not present because he had a drinking problem and a gambling problem. And then what he does is he basically sells her to pay off his debts, and then, yeah, a lot happens.
I see why it actually won.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it makes sense.
Yeah.
So right after this, your writing won that. You say you somehow managed to get your first internship. Tell us about the internship. Where was it? Where?
Internship, I got it from a guy named Rudy, right? He was there on behalf of his production company, which worked with Mzansi Magic, right? Okay. So I was recruited there to work on Mzansi Magic film. So we shot the film, and then I saw, man, that, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to be. I don't want to be in front of the screen. I don't really want to be, doing makeup. I want to be the girl running around
behind the
scenes. This is where my comfort is. So, yeah. Plus, I mean, when I told my parents that I wanted to go to a film school, they were very supportive. But the one thing that my dad would always tell me was that do not do acting. If you do acting, you will go hungry. So I was always just that girl who was just like, okay, everything except for acting.
I think I understand where he came from when you said that. I mean, given,
given what's,
context,
exactly,
Because, so many actors are always complaining about the fact that one was born in front of the camera.
So and think what you see is actually not what you get.
Exactly.
So, I'm so overwhelmed by all this.
Take it all in. Come on.
I'm like literally digesting. Like the girl has been Channel O, ETV. This. Tell us about your time in Joburg, like with all these channels. Like, how was it?
Yeah, it was a lot. Hey, I was in Joburg for like almost a decade, if not a decade, a bit more than a decade. And within that decade, I've done so much. I've been everywhere because, in the industry, it's actually quite hard to get like a permanent job. So you work like contracts and stuff like that. So, yeah. like I said, I started with Mzansi Magic. I worked on films with them. And then from there, I went to Vuzu. I used to work with, Vuzu. And there, it was a production company called Don't Look Down. There, they shot Channel O, so I used to also write scripts for them. And also, we used to do Zanzi Magic music specials where we worked with Bob Mabena and, other big, awesome artists. That was also my time there was really, like awesome. I learned so much. And then I'm trying now to like backtrack my experience because
Kuningi.
We got you.
Yeah. And then I went to Gold Diggers. I worked on a telenovela called Gold Diggers, which aired on ETV. There, I was a wardrobe assistant. I used to dress the actors and everything. And then from there, oh my God, what happened from there? And then I went to Well Done Media, where I used to write for the fillers on BET Africa. I used to write scripts for them. And then from there, I went to a production company called Kulu Africa, where I headed the culture division. Pop culture, and there we did like digital like stories, like those stories on Facebook that you see, those clips. Yes. And then I'm trying to see if I'm not leaving anything out. Oh my gosh, so much. Yeah,
It's a rainbow.
And then from there, I went to a PR agency called Styling Concepts, where I was the social media manager. I managed social media for clothing brands, where I managed the social media account for Le Coq Sportif, for basically like different brands, because it was a PR agency where they worked with different brands. We used to work with Converse. We used to do a whole lot of stuff. I learned so much there as well. And then after that, I went on to being a digital journalist, where I wrote for hip hop. What is it called? SA Hip Hop Mag. Yes. And I wrote for OK Mzansi, where it was just basically like celebrity stories. And then after that, I had my son. Yes. And then I kind of took a break just to kind of like focus on that. Yeah. But now I'm back as a producer at Mdantsane FM.
I was actually going to talk about that. Like,
yes.
How's the experience been?
It's a very big learning curve, right? But I'm just the type of girl who enjoys, I spread myself thin. That's just, I get a kick out of that. Like, if I'm not stressed, then I feel like I'm not doing anything. Hence why I produce 2 shows that play back to back. 12 to 3, 3 to 6. Yes, I'm that girl. Well, I'm liking it so far. I'm loving it, actually. Let me not lie. It feels like, I don't know. It feels like I'm learning at the same time. Right, but I also like the fact that the people that I work with also make it, more enjoyable, because we're able to work as a team, and we listen to each other's crazy ideas. And yes,
I've always wanted to know. I know, like, being a producer. The word producer is like a very broad term. Like, what actually goes into producing for a radio show?
Well, what I've actually noticed is that it's a lot of coordination. If you're not a person who knows how to like organize things, and then you're gonna have trouble. Like I said, I'm learning. I recently got a diary because a lot of things right? So yes. But that's basically what producing is. It's like coordination and just, like doing things behind the scenes, organizing interviews, just doing research basically. And also like coming up with content for the show. That's basically what it is.
So your transition from TV for film, from writing film and Joburg to East London, Dansani, FM. Is it a transition that you would have chosen, or is it just you coming back to East London and thinking, no, I can't just sit into nothing, so I'll grab this opportunity? Was it something that you would prefer to have done, or is it just one of those things where you're like, okay, I can do this, let me do it?
It's something, well, like I said, I'm a person that just goes with the flow. Okay. After I had my son, I wanted to come back because in Joburg, I was by myself, basically. So I wanted to raise my son around family, where I actually had help from, like, my mom, my sisters, and everything. So I came back here, and then I guess this was just me trying to kind of, like, adapt to the environment that I'm in and kind of find myself as a creative here and see what happens. So the opportunity at Mdantsane FM, actually, I'm the one who approached them and was like, hey, you know what, aren't you guys, looking for someone who can help out, And they were just like, okay, so what are you good at doing? So I listed my skills, and they were like, yeah, okay, come in tomorrow, let's chat. And you know what, I'm actually quite humble about my experiences, and it's is on my CV because I feel like, yeah,
you don't want to be the girl you think you are. Oh wow. Mess me with that, please. Mess me with it. I will definitely be the girl that I think I am.
So you're talking about being a mother. I'm trying to understand. Do you feel like, actually, how has being a mother actually affected, or because I feel like you were like before you had your son, or busy now? I feel like
you've just toned down a bit.
Yeah.
Well, being a mom is a very huge adaptation, I guess, especially because I was just the person who was always on the go.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like centered me in a way, I would say. In terms of working, I always have to just like make sure he's good first, and then I go to my work, right? Even sometimes when I'm always just like busy doing things, I always have to just pause and then see if he's fine, and then I have to go back to what I'm doing. So it's kind of just like a mess, but it's
grounding,
a beautiful mess, let me say, where you have, it's grounding, perfect word. That's what I would say. You get to learn a lot about myself. Right, since becoming a mom, I've actually learned a whole lot about myself. Still learning about myself, but yeah, it's just been a journey that I've enjoyed. Sometimes it's kind of like exactly, because sometimes you want to do things, but you can't really do them because you need to prioritize my son first. Sometimes I can't attend some events because he doesn't want me to go. So, like I said, it's a lot, but you enjoy it. Well, I'm enjoying it.
So you coming, like, you've been exposed to so much in Joburg. Like, there was opportunities left, right, and center. You were here and you were there. Then you come to East London, and do you feel some type of cagey vibe, or like how do you compare like the industry in these two different cities?
It was very, very different. There, I was always busy. There's always stuff to do. There's always things happening. Here, it's more of a struggle. It's very quiet, right? And you need to know people. You need to network here. And it's really hard to network because you're not really sure of the people who are within the same industry as you are. But I recently found my people, I guess, at the Film Hub there in town, Oxford,
Church
there.
Street, I think.
Yes. I just recently got acquainted to them. I have a production company, right, which I own with someone.
Oh, wow.
What's the name of the company?
It's called Just for the Black of It. It's
Wow.
still starting
That's
out,
a cool
but
Wow.
That's a really cool name, just for the back of it. Wow.
still starting out, still crawling baby steps, but you'll hear of it one day. But
Hopefully.
yeah, so I'm trying to find myself where I fit in the creative industry here in the Eastern Cape, because there it was very simple, because there's always things going on, there's always just things, opportunities left, right and center. Here it's a bit quiet. Here you need to really look very hard. So yeah, I'm trying to kind of, be within, but it'll happen. It's baby steps.
All right. So, you're saying that at Mdansane FM, you do back-to-back
Shows, yes.
weekdays, right? Don't you find that also maybe a bit challenging, since there's basically no gap in between those two shows? You basically running from the one up until the other one. Like,
Yeah.
do you not find that challenging?
For me, challenges is something that I enjoy. If I'm not challenged, then I feel like,
not
life
doing
is boring without challenges. So yeah, like I said, I enjoy spreading myself very thin. To me, that just makes me feel like I have a purpose. So yes, it's very challenging, because even tomorrow we're gonna do it all over again. The one show is Monday to Thursday, the other one is Monday to Friday. So I literally don't get a break.
Please.
Nah.
Max James.
But yeah, I enjoy it. I love it. Yeah.
You're basically telling us that you are the go-getter type of person. A
Basic-
go-getter. You can't sit
Basically,
still.
I can't, I can't. Even my mom has tried to speak to me so many times. My mom was always on my case, like, when do you get a chance to even breathe? Do you even eat at work? You know how parents are. But so it's just like, yeah, I eat, but I eat on the go, It's very...
You are definitely the girl that
Nah.
you think you
Definitely.
are. Definitely the girl. So, with the production company that you have now, are you planning on basing it here in East London, keeping it grounded in East London, or do you have maybe plans that you want to get it out?
I'd like to actually get it out there. I feel like at some point it would also be really cool if we could do like international productions, but I want to obviously start here at home first. So yeah, right now we just have like a lot of productions that are just like in the back burner. We're writing a lot, and then when we're ready, we're just going to obviously apply for funding and then get them out there. But yeah, for now on, we're just kind of like, trying to grow it and nurture it. And
So outside of the production company, what other future endeavors? What else are you planning to do? Like, what's next?
future endeavors. Well, me personally, I would actually like to open a film school, and that is something that I want to do like in the near future, because I feel like access to like film and like education and stuff is some things that people have to travel for. Like me, for example, I had to go all the way to Joburg to do what I wanted to do. I know there's an AFTA here in Port Elizabeth now, but here in East London, I feel like, it's
Deserve
like a
one.
ghost town. We deserve one. So I'd also like to just, like start, something small here for film and hopefully grow it into something big.
Wow.
Yeah.
Please
Nah.
remember this day.
I definitely will.
Aye, we will be there. We will be there by the launch. We shall be there.
Definitely.
So, in this whole journey of yours,
Yeah.
like I know we get, your highs and your lows, throughout this whole journey of yours. What has been like the one thing that discouraged you or demotivated you, like a challenge that you have faced, like the one thing that you'll never forget?
I would say being looked down upon, right? because obviously when there are people who are, you know, well-known people who have been in the industry and people you once looked up to who now just make you feel small, it kind of just like, you know, makes you question yourself, like, what am I actually doing here? Do I actually have, you know, a place here, you know? But yeah, obviously, you know, you need to be resilient. You need to kind of like, you know, pick yourself up. And also, man, having the support of my family who always just call me and always just, you know, encourage me and tell me, no, man, like, you're worth something. You know that you're very awesome. My family is just, yeah, they are the best. So, yeah, I would say the one thing that's actually, you know, put a, I want to say a damper on my whole journey would obviously just being, you know, being looked down upon, and obviously like being doubted and stuff like that. And also I've had you know, challenges with like my health and stuff like that. So now, because at one point in time, I used to just disclose like, okay, you know what, I'm diabetic and whatever, you know. So now I found that, that would be like the reason why I would be like, you know, like left out of a lot of opportunities, because I don't know, people would be scared to give me a lot of, you know, a work or something. Like, I feel like that shouldn't be something that makes, you know, that counts you out because of your health or whatever, you know. So at some point where I would just not even tell that, okay, you know what, here's the situation. But then I would see that, okay, now this is also kind of just like shooting myself in the foot, because now when something actually does happen, no one really knows what's going on. So, but I guess it's just the things that we, you know, we need to just work with, I guess. But it's not a challenge for me, so why should it be for you?
And then your best moment.
My best moment, I would say my best moment would just be meeting different people and creating, you know, relationships with people, especially meaningful relationships where, you know, you get people who actually support you and, you know, see your vision, and people who are willing to go the extra mile for you to actually do what you want. I feel like that's always just been something that I'm very appreciative of. And also, I would say nothing was more rewarding to me than when I got my first internship, because I feel like that's what actually put a stamp on, you know, my confidence. Like, okay, yes, girl, do it.
You are that girl.
You are that girl, so don't be afraid.
Oh, goodness.
How did your parents, because in the Kumula we talked about your father not wanting you, was he specifically telling you about don't do acting, or as in was he generally warning you about the industry?
No, my parents were actually very supportive of me going to art school, because I feel like they saw the kind of kid that I was. My dad was actually more like the most supportive out of all my family, because he even had an idea that, okay, when you graduate, we're gonna buy equipment and we're gonna go shoot animals together, you know. So he was, yeah, right, he was that guy. Like, why are you involving yourself in this? This is my thing. This is my thing. But yeah, I think he was just, he wanted the best for me, because I think from seeing what happens to like the actresses and people in the industry here, I think he was just kind of warning me to always have like, you know, a backup plan type of thing, not to entirely put all my eggs in the one basket, which would be acting. So yeah.
With that being said, amaphi amazwi onawo for umuntu obukeleyo ekhaya ofuna ukwenza lento yenzayo, or someone who wants to be in the industry, you know, be it script writing, acting, or all that you do?
Yeah.
What words of advice or sort of guidance do you have for such a person?
Well, I would say that just don't let anything stop you. Like, I would say, like, self-doubt is the most crippling thing that anyone could ever, you know, adopt. It doesn't really matter what other people say, but you being your own worst enemy or your worst critic is very, it's something that could actually stop you, right? So I would just say, even if you have something that you think is the dumbest idea, do it and just see where it takes you, just don't let anything stop you. Sometimes being stubborn would actually get you very far, because I feel like that's actually what's pushed me a lot. When people tell me that, okay, you can't do something, then I'll just be like, okay, fine. You think I can't do it? Watch me. Watch me do it.
Watch me.
Right? Wow. So I feel like just always, always just believe in yourself. As cheesy as it sounds, but it's true. Believe in yourself.
All right. Can you please tell us, Sinakho, where can the viewers follow you? Where can
oh my God, not the following thing. Guys, I'm the most not present person on social media, trust me. Like, I'll be there on Facebook and on Instagram liking people's posts. Sometimes I'll even like it in real time. Like, I won't press like there. I'll be like, oh, this is cool, and then I'll pass. Right. But yeah, it's Sinakho Mandla on all social media platforms. Sinakho with an H.
Given your vast experience within the industry, and given the fact that usuka bukade uhlale Joburg, and now that ukwelicala and bawubusitsho bayizinto engathi zislow kwelicala, what do you think is missing kwi-industry kwelicala within the Eastern Cape?
Well, actually, I think even starting from the educational point, let's start there. It would be very beneficial if we actually had like institutions that taught people about film, that taught people more about, like the arts and culture industry. I feel like the Eastern Cape isn't really delving into the opportunities that could be, that could be made or that could be taken, just like, in Johannesburg. In Johannesburg, you'll find that there are millions, well, not millions, but there are so many production companies that are busy, creating productions, whereas you find here there's not really much happening, right? So I feel like if we would just nurture the knowledge of people here, you'd actually have people staying and not leaving with their talent to go and kind of like nurture it somewhere else. Also, it would be nice if we actually had like your ECDCs and your actual not institutions but actual companies that would actually like invest in growing the arts and culture industry here. Like I said, I feel like it's not really valued, let me say, here, right? So I think that it would just benefit the Eastern Cape as a whole if we would actually protect the industry and kind of like try and grow it, where we don't have people who are actually taking their ideas and their talents and leaving with them and going to start something elsewhere because they see that, okay, that's where, that's where it's hot. Yeah, so just,
All right. Well, we actually, it's so nice to hear that from someone who's experienced both life in Joburg and life in the Eastern Cape within the arts and culture field. Is there anything, as you've been mentioning over and over again, that what a great support your family's been throughout your journey? Is there anything specifically that you'd like to say to them?
Well, I'd like to say to my family that I love them and I'm really grateful for their support, and their efforts will not go what do you call it? Unnoticed, yes. So I'm very grateful for all that they do and still doing now and in the future, and
That's so sweet. That's so sweet. So thank you so much, Sinakho, for gracing us with your presence. It was really, really fun to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Me and Unachi, we're on another vibe. We're
You already know.
vibing, we're ready, we're representing the 043.
Okay, the 5219.
Yeah, that. But anyway, before we close off this episode, we just like to thank our sponsors once again. That is Captain Joe's, Tough, as well as X Royal Studios. And you guys know already what X Royal Studios is all about. You want our videography, our photography services. We got the drones, the sound. Cine mic, you guys, not those noisy mics. We've got proper mics. Please just click on the number below on the screen, and then we will bring you the royalty from X Royal Studios.
And if you want to advertise your business on one of our platforms, please make sure you hit us up on our email. That is qhakaza@tough.org.za. Qhakaza@tough, which is TAAF.org.za.
All right, and you can also follow us on social media at Qhakaza Mntase on all platforms. And then you can also find us on Facebook at TAAF, which is TAAF. And on all other platforms, it is TAAF.EastCape. With that, Sinakho, Unachi, and me, we are saying Qhakaza Mntase.
Qhakaza Mntase sithi Mntase Qhakaza. Qhakaza Mntase sithi Mntase Qhakaza. Qhakaza Mntase sithi Mntase Qhakaza. 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 Qhakaza Mntase sithi Mntase Qhakaza. Qhakaza Mntase sithi Mntase Qhakaza.